Coming up on Texas Parks and Wildlife.
I fished with Jane for 3 years. This is my 4th time this year. Jane's really great. She likes to fish, and that makes a lot of difference.
Good hearing and eye protection are a must in maintaining the most vital of senses for our children, their sight and their hearing.
So in order to make a system look easy, it takes a lot of hard work.
Texas is a lovely place to be a biker. Opportunities are endless.
Texas Parks and Wildlife, a television series for all outdoors.
This series is funded in part by a grant from the Wildlife and Sport Fish Restoration Program. Through your purchase of hunting and fishing equipment and motorboat fuels, over $40 million in conservation efforts are funded in Texas each year.
Additional funding provided by Ram Trucks. Guts, glory, Ram.
Meet Fred Schmid. He and his wife Suzanne are gearing up for a bike ride.
A lot of stuff to get ready.
Fred and Suzanne don't just take leisurely pedals. They are both skilled mountain bikers.
Okay, we're ready. We're very fortunate. The trails start about 30 feet from my driveway.
Those trails are part of a 20-mile network along the Brazos River at Waco's Cameron Park. The trail system has provided the perfect opportunity to take up mountain biking a little later in life.
What do you want to do then, Freddie? You want to go down and do Slinky in California?
Let's do Slinky. My wife gave me a bike in 1994, and I could hardly ride the thing in Cameron Park, but I started trying. Nice way to start off. It's all downhill.
Yes.
I'll be 78 this month. So, yeah, I'm pretty much of an old guy.
For someone pushing 80, Fred certainly keeps moving.
I never have been one who sat around much. My wife tells me I'm hyperactive. So.
Cycling is something that anybody can do.
Well, that loose stuff gets me.
Helps us both stay active.
Though Fred did not begin until his 60s, biking quickly became his passion.
You remember this?
Before long, he was racing in competitions in Texas and beyond.
When people ask why you race, you can always say it's for the podium girls. There's some of your very first races.
Boy, I was younger then, wasn't I? This is Tyler.
By now, their photo album is running out of pages.
Cold and muddy.
Where was that? Idaho, wasn't it?
Yeah, Sand Point.
Big Bear, California, outside of Phoenix, low in the mountains.
Beautiful.
When I look at this, I'm astounded how many places I've raced and how many places I've ridden. It's just extraordinary.
Though the Schmids travel the country for biking events, they feel fortunate for the wealth of bike trails in Texas.
Texas is a lovely place to be a biker. Where are we going? We're going up to...
Drain Pipe.
Drain Pipe, okay.
Cameron Park has more miles than most, but many local parks offer paved and unpaved trails for biking. And across the state, dozens of state parks offer biking opportunities as varied as the geography. In the Dallas area, mountain bikers have multiple options within an hour's drive. Cedar Hill State Park is a favorite destination.
It is an escape right here in the middle of the Metroplex. We want everybody to come out and be able to enjoy it at their level, take their time if they want to.
It goes right by the lake. We're right here, trailhead.
But even for the most advanced rider, there's plenty of challenge.
You've got some really thick wooded sections that you go along the lake, followed by some prairies, so a good variety. As you ride and as you run through the park, you're going to be engaged. You won't be bored.
Yeah. I like the diversity of the trails. They're not necessarily real technical, but they're beautiful.
No, I'm kidding.
We have a lot of switchbacks, a lot of climbing, some long slopes that'll wear you out. But of course, then that means you've got a nice downhill coming. There's always a reward at the end of it.
Yeah.
One reason cyclists enjoy these trails so much is that they built and maintain them.
DORBA does a really good job of organizing the trail work days.
Knock that mesquite down.
DORBA is an acronym for the Dallas Off-Road Bicycle Association. The trail itself has been 100% maintained by volunteer hours. Last year was a record year for us. We had over 10,000 hours contributed to trail maintenance in North Texas. And on this trail alone, we exceeded over 750 hours. That's in 1 year.
Hit those mesquite stumps with your weed eater. Most of our work is in cutting back the vegetation. It's a labor of love.
Especially as much as we're out here, we owe it. But, you know, we're past that now. I mean, this is where we want to be.
How you doing? Good to see you again.
This is a good way to stop work. Cold drink of water and breakfast.
We take a lot of pride in the trail. We're out here anywhere from 2 to 5 times a week, running, riding the trails, or maintaining the trails.
This place is like a gym in the Metroplex. I would highly recommend it.
Oh my gosh, it's the sun. Wow.
Of course, Cedar Hill is just one park with scenic trails near a city. San Antonio has Government Canyon. Near Houston is Brazos Bend. Or if you'd like to bike as far from a city as possible, you might prefer a place like Big Bend Ranch State Park.
I just love the feeling of isolation that you get out there. If you want to be remote, that's the place to be.
Fred and Suzanne have biked all around the state, but today they are in the Texas Panhandle.
Well, we came here to do this mountain bike race here at Paladura Canyon. It's a nice little place we picked here today.
We are so proud of the Texas state parks.
Turkey?
They are beautiful.
My goodness, look at that. There's a turkey right by your back door. So I think he's walking back over there.
Bird watching, geology, you name it.
Llano Estacado, as they call it.
The bicycle is a great way to see a lot of area. Usually when we go to a place for a race, we're there for a few days in advance to look at the trails. And so I get to ride all the race trails with him, but without the pressure. Look at the scenery.
It's a lovely setting. I mean, it's exquisite. There are good trails out here, and I'm looking forward to it.
Now, Fred is no stranger to the excitement of race day.
I've been world champion twice, national champion numerous times. It's been fun.
We are now staging for Count 1 and Pro. Staging for Count 1 and Pro. We need all racers to the back, please.
Have fun.
2 9-mile laps, 18 miles.
Good luck, guys.
If things go well, I should be able to do it in an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes.
Great group of racers here today. Let's cheer them on.
Go, 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 go!
Frankly, I've never really analyzed why I do it. It's just a challenge to do, and I like winning, obviously, but I like riding, and I like riding in competition. I felt okay, but I rode hard. I've ridden it in a long time. When you come to some little steep hills there, it's very hard racing.
I do enjoy providing support. There's lots of doggy support. Here he comes.
I'm okay.
Okay. Go get him, Freddie. 45 seconds. He's not that far behind us, guys.
The pros are coming in. Frederick Schmid, 3rd place.
Hi, Freddie.
6-0-1.
This time, Fred has to settle for 3rd place in his division.
There you go. Woo.
I set it hour and 40 and got hour and 43, I think.
Yeah, good job.
Of course, just crossing the finish line is a victory.
You did really great. Thank you.
Yeah, did you hear me cheering?
If I didn't race, I wouldn't train. If I didn't train, I wouldn't ride well, so.
So, another race in another pretty place. Seems to have been fun for all sorts of people.
It's a great place to bike. Best place in the world.
You're gonna clean me up.
It's a wonderful community. They don't care how old you are. It's something that you can do for a lifetime, definitely.
Oh, man.
I like the fact that people look at me and say, well, maybe I can continue to be athletic and in reasonably good health for a long time.
On to the next one.
For more information about mountain biking in Texas, visit our website.
First, we're going to cook white bass fillet. I mix about half cornmeal, half flour. Make sure your grease is hot. Put a little Cajun seasoning on there, about 400 degrees right there. Take that off in there. Baste them again. Move them around, so it takes about 8 to 10 minutes.
The perfect end to a successful day of fishing has got to be
I think these are ready.
at the dinner table.
How much you gonna eat?
Grilled or fried. If you haven't discovered white bass, you're missing out on some mighty good eating.
Hold it right there. You got it, you got it.
And even better fishing.
Oh, yeah.
Native to the Red River system in North Texas, white bass have spread to much of the rest of the state through stocking and natural migration. Found in large lakes and rivers with moderate current, white bass migrate in early spring from the deeper open waters upstream to shallower areas to spawn. Also known as sand bass, the state record white bass is just over 5.5 pounds. But 1 pound fish are considered the norm.
Typically in the northeast part of the state and even up in the northern part of the state, the fish will grow a little faster, get a little larger size than they do here in central Texas.
The Sabine River in East Texas is one of those places where the white bass grow larger.
We're almost to our fishing spot.
Jane Gullenbach runs the River Ridge Guide Service on the Sabine.
I'll go downstream and then turn and come back up and anchor.
The Sabine has been somewhat overlooked as a white bass fishery, but that's starting to change.
When we first opened up, we thought catfish was our big deal. And the last, I'd say 4 or 5 years, the white bass has overtaken our catfish business. Oh, yeah. We have just a great fishery. They grow bigger here. We'll weigh that one. That's a good one. Give you an idea of...
That's a white bass?
That's a white bass. That's a big one, isn't it? You got another one?
No, I missed it. James Hogue and his daughter Emily have driven about 200 miles from their home near Houston for a day of fishing for white bass on the Sabine River. With Jane as their guide, they're hoping to take advantage of the annual spring run.
Oh, you already got bumps? Normally, when the water's this color, the chartreuse works real good, but the last few days, for some reason, the white's working better. The main thing is finding them, and once you find them, they're not hard to catch.
My dad's got one.
Let me get my dip net and I'll dip it.
I fished with Jane for 3 years. This is my 4th time this year. Jane's really great. She likes to fish, and that makes a lot of difference.
Got one.
Reel, there you go.
Okay, you got another one. Hold your rod down.
There you go.
There, right there.
I usually go crappie fishing. If I go fishing, it's crappie fishing.
Come on, you got it.
It was fun, and the fish were strong.
Oh, that's a good one. Good job, Emily.
Emily caught about 15 or 20, huh? Maybe more?
Maybe 35.
That's why they come here. That's why they come to catch white bass in the Sabine River. The size of this white bass.
A professional guide with a boat is a great way to get to the white bass, but it isn't always necessary. There are places in Texas where you can literally just walk up to the fish.
It's a big one.
About 60 miles northwest of Austin is Colorado Bend State Park. For as long as anyone can remember, this has been one of the hot spots for the spring white bass run.
Anybody that can come out here and toss a line in, you can fish from the bank, you can wade fish, canoe, kayak. It just makes it really easy for everybody to enjoy that.
Herb Nisley and his brother have been coming here to Colorado Bend to fish since before it was a state park.
We're going to be camped out here for 3 weeks for the white bass run, and hope we're here at the right time while they're in here.
As the white bass move up the Colorado from Lake Buchanan, the river gets narrower and shallower, and the fish are more concentrated most of the time.
It is dependent on the weather. There's been quite a bit of rainfall upstream around San Angelo and Lake Brownwood, and when that muddy water hits, it really turns the fishing off for a few days until it clears up.
Finally got one. When the water's down low and there's some spots that are only maybe 40, 50 foot wide, well, they got to go through that 40 foot, 50 foot wide area sooner or later, so you just sit and wait for them, and eventually they'll come through. Let them go make some babies.
When the water's up, anglers just have to work a little harder to find the fish.
Well, Ken, they're not up on the bank right now. If they are, they're not feeding. Well, the current's tough. It is a good workout.
Fish on.
Double header.
All right.
Well, I like it because you're not just throwing into open water, you know, you're looking for the current and the seams, and kind of like trout fishing. I've been coming here from day one, since the day that the park opened. It's beautiful and the fishing's good.
You see that?
Yeah. So now they're going to start biting.
About 25 miles south of Colorado Bend State Park is Inks Lake. Just below the Inks Lake Dam is a hard-to-get-to little spot favored by white bass anglers.
The area below the dam is good for white bass, both during the run, and it's pretty good white bass fishery during the rest of the year, especially when they're generating or releasing water from upstream.
Highland Lake's fly fishing guide Keith Barnes has brought 4 fly fishing aficionados to this spot on the Colorado River for an afternoon casting session.
When they're up shallow, you can catch them with a white crappie jig and a Snoopy rod and reel. There's never any guarantees, but when the white bass run is on, it's about as close to guarantee as I can give.
I think I like the option of having the complete fishing experience when everything just goes well and the perfect cast leads into the perfect take and the perfect hook set, the perfect fight, and eventually the perfect fish.
What you got?
I have no idea. But it's grown to mythical proportions in my head already. It's a drum, apparently. A species completely unknown to me, but I'm just happy to catch something.
Well, even if you don't get the perfect fish every time, there's something about the white bass run that keeps anglers coming back year after year. Maybe it's tradition. Maybe it's family time. Maybe it's the beauty of the outdoors. Or maybe it's just nice to go fishing and actually catch some fish.
It's like going to white bass heaven.
It's a real easy chance to catch a lot of fish, and that's what makes it so fun.
Hold on just a second. Okay, just take your time.
No parent wants to see their child injured while participating in a sporting activity.
About 1/4 of an inch, low and to the right. Not bad at all.
Whether it's baseball, soccer, or football, we always provide the necessary safety equipment for our children. The shooting sports is no different. Good hearing and eye protection are a must in maintaining the most vital of senses for our children, their sight and their hearing. Modern medicine has come a long ways, but there's still no cure for hearing loss. When participating in one of the shooting sports, hearing protection is essential. Remember, that muzzle blast is only inches from your ears. Whether you choose a flange type earplug or muffs or some variation of these, don't go shooting without proper hearing protection. Eye protection is just as important as hearing protection in the shooting sports. Whether it's common safety glasses like these, your prescription glasses, or commercially available shooting glasses, any of these will provide adequate, unobstructed sight protection during your shooting activities. Why jeopardize something as precious as your sight when something as simple as these can protect you for life?
So if you need to raise it up,
unlike a lot of other sports, shooting can be a lifelong family activity. Whether you're new to shooting or you've been shooting for a long time, it's never too late or too soon to start protecting your most precious resources, your hearing and your sight. Please wear your hearing and eye protection.
Out front. Good shot.
Everyone knows you need the correct license to go hunting or fishing. To purchase a license is a very easy process. But it takes a lot of effort behind the curtain to make the process work so well. So when the licensing vendor says they're not renewing their contract, do you know what to do? You put together a top-notch team and get to work.
I can't think of another project in my 20 years with the agency that was as critical as the license sales system was. There were more opportunities for us to fail than there were for us to succeed.
It's spread out throughout the state. We have approximately 1,700 licensed agents that sell licenses.
We met their requirements plus any kind of statutes or legislative requirements before this system was ever considered ready.
So in order to make a system look easy, it takes a lot of hard work.
Correct, like we talked about automating that each night.
9 months,
Yes.
is a long time to test a system. I think there's 150 different licenses, and they have probably 100 different rules.
Testing can be like watching paint dry.
I mean, sometimes I don't think the paint actually got to dry before something else came up, so.
I've done a lot of IT projects in my life, and this one went in the smoothest of anything that I've ever done.
My biggest compliment to this team and to everybody that was involved is that on that early morning of October 20th, we sold licenses. We did it seamlessly, and we did it with it being unnoticed. That, for a technology project, is probably the best compliment you can give to anybody.
The fact that we came up and the phone didn't ring off the wall was a great sign.
Let's not forget that there was a broader group of individuals throughout the agency that played an essential role in the delivery of this project.
The effort put in by those other people were invaluable. We would never be where we are today had it not been for them.
We had people from law enforcement there. We had accounting people we had to go talk to. Help desk, they had to know how to set things up.
There's no way 5 people could have pulled off a project like this.
I really hope all those individuals know and understand that we really wouldn't be here talking about the success of this system if it hadn't been for their help.
Shoot that duck straight up.
So next time you purchase a hunting or fishing license, or you're out hunting no matter the season, remember the license team and the fabulous work they did.
They were very committed in delivering a working system. They never lost focus in knowing that this system would further extend our agency's mission, and that's what I'm most proud of this group for.
This series is funded in part by a grant from the Wildlife and Sport Fish Restoration Program. Through your purchase of hunting and fishing equipment and motorboat fuels, over $40 million in conservation efforts are funded in Texas each year.
Additional funding provided by Ram Trucks. Guts, glory, Ram.